Sorry, anyone else? All right, go ahead.
Well, I'm interested more in the different cultures in the community and the children in the community and the old people in the community. And I'm interested in people that are leaders finding out what these people need and have as problems. You hear nationally about the opioid problems. You hear all kinds of things about the food banks being overburdened and the schools having to feed more students that because their parents cannot make enough money to feed them. I would like for people to look at the needs, the basic needs of those different cultures and communities that have needs. There are old people that can't pay for their medications so they can stay better because they have to have food or they have to have shelter. I would like to see the basic needs of the most people addressed, looked at, find out about what they are, look at them, address them in every part of the city. And I would like to see the money go to those kinds of things to help people so that they don't have all the health issues and have the problem. I know that when people have swimming areas that they can get water exercise and they can do, and I think children need places to play. I think they need adequate bowling alleys, not just 2 in Amarillo for 200,000 people. They need skating rinks. Children need things to do, to have fun and to play and be safe wherever they are so that they don't have to go find some alternative to lift their spirits and their brain, because you can get your brain stimulated with just play and exercise. Hey, what's wrong with that? I would just like, and I would like to have parents that are working have a place that is safe, that to leave their children, that they don't have to pay a fortune for, so that if they don't make very much money, they can get some kind of stimulation, if you want to call it that, or extra help to be able to do what they need to do to have happy, safe, secure families. I don't see people looking at that. Plus, I don't see us looking at the resources. Our water, what are we doing about that? Do we really need to look at how we're controlling what we do with the water and how much expansion we want over our playa lakes that are supposed to be filling our reservoir of water, but it's not being able to because of all the concrete and development and different things going over it. I want to look at the resources, the needs, the basic problems, and have people come up with solutions and quit arguing over a lot of things that they argue over that don't matter. But the world matters, the environment matters. I'd like to see more recycling. I'd like to see more people doing things to help save what we have. This is a beautiful world. This is a nice city. And I think we aren't taking care of it the way we should. That's my feeling.
There's a lot to unpack. Is there a question you want to direct to someone in particular?
What?
Is there a question you wanted to
I just
direct?
want anybody that has ideas.
Louis Armstrong said the same thing. What a wonderful world. That was a beautiful.
But we're not taking care of it.
This is actually, I have to tell you, this is the group that would be that group that would actually listen to those things. And how many times have you heard that people say that the people that give the most are the people that have the least to give?
That's
And
true. That is true.
this group right here fits that bill. You know, you're not going to get that from the incumbents. They have consistently shown what they will not do. They have taken away the opportunity to engage them publicly. They will not discuss things with you outside of the council meetings and things like that. And so we have so many people here that have such a wide and diverse resume, if you want to call it that. there's not a person up here that's not a volunteer. And so many of us, you know, I've been involved with a lot of different things. My wife was treasurer of Yellow City Community Outreach, and I went along with that until we departed from that. But we've been involved with so many other things. We actually had service dogs that we took to the nursing homes and things like that. And so we're dedicated to those things. We're dedicated to community engagement. We're dedicated to the dialogue that goes between those people that need things and the city council. But you're not going to get that with the current system that you have. You know, they've taken away all of the public comment. That needs to be restored. And when you start talking about a diverse, culturally harmonious group, a town or community or something like that, when you start talking about that, it all begins with going and breaking down the barriers. And we heard that last time, at the last election, that people were going to unify. We've done everything but unify. We've driven people apart. We actually, this group here, all of these people, want to go ahead and we want to create unity. And the only way that we're going to end up with a better community is through unity.
I want to throw something in there really quick, because the big thing to me that I've been saying is I don't want to confuse the symptoms with the overall disease. I think there's a bigger problem outside this that's connected all of these questions. You said you want the overall needs of everyone to be assessed. Where we're at right now is I believe we have a mayor and 4 council members representing 200,000 people at large. And what I'm saying is, let's say the incumbents all lose, we all get on, things are great, we start making progress. In 2 years, that cycle could restart all over again. We have our government, the way it is set up, is this could restart all over in 2 years. I think at-large elections have flawed how the city is run. I'm going to be honest, with 200,000 people from all these different cultures and backgrounds, you think 4 people in America can understand the needs of all of those people accurately? In my opinion, I think that's stretching it pretty thin. Some people are going to get missed in that, even if you have good intentions. I believe all of us have good intentions and want the best, but I think the way our government is set up, even people with good intentions will be stretched too thin. I think we need to acknowledge the overall problem of at-large elections, get a single-member district council with more members that can assess all of those needs. Because I can talk about the symptoms of all of these problems all day, but I don't want to see them happen again in 2 years or 4 years, because there's a potential that can happen again long after this current council, who I have a lot of complaints on, have left. It can easily happen again.
And you gotta have diversity to create what you're asking for. And right now, it's all pretty one-sided. There's no way in the world you should have 5-0 votes on everything. You cannot tell me that they're diversified if they're all in agreement. The arguing's good sometimes. Heated conversation's good, you know, and Hayden's right on this, and I've written a big article or 2 about it. Until Amarillo, first, I don't know any word other than the word enema. Until Amarillo is given an enema, it changes the whole way they do business. It's not going to get fixed. You cannot rechange your whole government every 2 years. It's never going to get fixed. You've got to change your terms. That's the first thing you got to do. And you got to stagger them, where not everybody's getting voted on at the same time. Why in the world are we holding a city election in May? We should have held half the people to be voted on for the city council back when they were doing state level elections, and the other half back when they were doing presidential. And you need at least, because you have 7 identified areas in this town, so you need at least 6 to 7 council members to govern that. And if you're going to add a mayor in there and you need that odd vote, you know, maybe you need 7 and 6. I don't know what the rule is on that. I'm not that smart. But I know if you want to clean it up, first thing you got to get is diversity. You got to get people out of that area representing that area. And once you do that, you're going to see less 5-0 votes. You're going to see more 4-3, 5-2. You're going to see a little real conversation going on, not just certain groups being taken care of. Okay?
All right, now I kind of second what Hayden said here about the single-member districts, because with single-member districts, you get that direct representation by that one individual that lives in the area that you live in. So they have that interest at heart, and they go and they fight for that area, for that particular district, and they're held accountable. I mean, they can be, you know, reelected or not. I
They
mean,
get a
the
job
choice
interview
is up
every 2
to-
years or 4 years.
The choice is up to the citizens, you know, when they're finished with their term. And so I know that seems like such a, you know, an Olympic race to get to where you're at right now. You know, right now I don't have all the answers for everything that you said tonight, but I think that's a good step towards what you're looking for. Because right now, the at-large is just, it's too much. I mean, they just represent their small group of people, and the rest of the town doesn't get any direct representation, so.
And in order to do that, we're gonna have to change the city charter. Once again, going back to what I said earlier, and also what Tom, Mr. Warren said earlier, what we need is, we need at least 3 people. The mayor is not like a dictator. 4 city council members, 1 mayor. Elect me and at least 2 more, and we can make them do what we the people, not what we want, but what we the people want. Now look over the history of Amarillo, both from the 4 years that I've been here and time before by talking to people who are knowledgeable, who care about the best, what's best for this city. And it looks suspiciously like we've kind of been under the same grip for at least 10 or 15 years. You know, the puppets change, but the moves remain the same. We seem to be moving towards a direction that no one was really looking for, not the common man, and we can change that. We can change that by changing the city charter. We can change that, like Rich said, we move elections time where, you know, you can make sure the elections are legitimate and be elected at the same time so there's no foul play. Amarillo is a great city. I love it here. Man, when I was living in Los Angeles, for the longest time, I said, you know, I love Los Angeles. I'm never going to move back. It's just a lot of farmers living together with some Walmarts. But I came back, man, and there's such cultural diversity here. There's such great things happening here, man, and I'm really glad to be back in the Texas Panhandle. Thank you.
Any other opinions on the particular medicinal cocktail and the judge's metaphorical
I'll
enema?
throw something on top. Everybody pretty much touches on everything, and a lot of what you said is pretty much you want compassion on the city council, and that's what you got, just like Thomas Warren said. Everybody here wants a little bit of change, cares about the city. Just like Kid Billett said, our city charter needs to be updated. It hasn't been updated since like 1913, I think, and then amended in the 60s. You know, a lot of people say that the place, you know, wasn't meant for a wage or anything of that matter. But if you look at it in 1913, $10 was worth about $300 now. So I mean, it was enough for you to pay some gas, maybe pay a pager bill, or something like that, and have maybe a little bit more compassion again towards your position, towards the people that you represent. Again, everybody else is talking about single-member districts. We do. I believe we need 2 more, at least 2 more members to represent our great city. It's diverse. You know, and also with that diversity, there is a lot of people that are middle to lower income families. And that's a lot of what you don't see on the current council. I mean, so they're not going to have lower to middle income concerns. I don't know about everybody, but I know myself. I work for every little cent that I squeeze out of every minute I have during the day. And, you know, it's hard, but we sacrifice for the people. And that's what you need, is somebody that's going to sacrifice for the people, for your pets, for your children, for your grandparents, for your grandchildren. And I believe that you'll find that on this council, or on this, I say council, but on this, in this group of candidates.
Well, and I think, if I can jump in just a little bit, if we can get to the single-member district, and we can get to where we have people in the city council that actually represent the people of Amarillo, then people will be more engaged, they'll be more relaxed about what's going on in their city, and they'll have more time on their hands to think about being good neighbors. and being able to do things with each other, because we won't be so busy arguing about, well, we don't need the ballpark, we want the ballpark, we don't want the ballpark, what about Council Park Pool? And then we can stop bickering about all the stuff that the city's got us all tied up in knots about and care about neighbors.
There are 4 things that you can do that would greatly change the landscape of this community and the engagement. One of those would be, like we talked about, single-member district, where at least 2 more members, if you had 6 districts that represented your community, you'd be better off. If the election time was changed to presidential or midterm year, that would totally change in November. We have this weird system to where we are an odd number of years where we're voting in May and the engagement, the voting turnout is completely in the toilet. And there's no excuse for that. We actually need to have paid positions in the city council so you can get a different kind of candidate. Not that we're bad, but the truth of the matter is you'll end up with such a more diverse group of people that can actually apply all of their waking hours to that. You need those things. And then the last thing that you need is you need caps on donations or expenditures in that election cycle. So if say you had it to where $10,000 or $20,000 was all that could be spent in election cycle per candidate, those people couldn't be bought by all of these other things. But if you could actually change the city charter to make those differences, it would completely change the landscape. But it happens with a vote. It happens with a majority vote of decent, hardworking people being put on the city council to go ahead and make those changes, or to bring that to the voters and allow the voters to vote on that. But we're never going to get anywhere by doing the exact same things over, because it's proved time and again the system that we have has failed us.